The year was 1963, and the whole ashram was agog with the 38th birthday celebrations of Bhagwan. The traditional anointing ceremony was to begin. Typically, the blessed parents of Bhagwan would be the first to do the anointing, followed by other elderly devotee couples. That year, Mother Ishwaramma was not to be seen anywhere. Earlier that month, Sri Pedda Venkamaraju, Bhagwan's chosen father, had peacefully breathed his last. Mother Ishwaramma, now widowed, kept away from the ceremony and was sitting all by herself, teary-eyed. She perhaps thought it was not appropriate for her to participate in the sacred ceremony. Bhagwan got up from his throne and came searching for her. Approaching her, he bent low, insisting that she do the anointing as always. This simple episode captures what an avatar is all about. In our limitedness, we consider ourselves incapable of raising ourselves to the state of divinity. God, moved by compassion, comes down to our state to be loved and adored. In a beautiful verse describing the purpose and nature of the avatar, Swami says,
Avatarin chutayenutalo arthamemi narulapai priti vatsalya paratatoda varisthayiki daivambu vachu bhuviki jeeva prajnato baatuga daiva prajna.
No words can describe the avatar better or the glory of the day of his advent more precisely. It is a day inspired by divine love and compassion. Bhagwan's birthday is special, not because it is real, for he says about this day, "This is not my birthday. I have no birth or birthday. I am ageless, eternal." Yet, it is the most auspicious of days, for it is a day that our journey to the ultimate goal of life was given a special impetus. A devotee asked Swami once, "You say this world is a dream. We see you in this form as part of this dream. Are you a dream too, Swami?" And Bhagwan responded, "Yes, I too am part of your dream. But I am like the roaring lion in the dream. My roaring will wake you up from this dream into reality." We celebrate the birthday of the one born into this unreal world to wake us up to reality. We celebrate the birthday of the one beyond time. We celebrate 100 years of a blessing that cannot be measured in human metrics. We celebrate the 100th birthday of the Birthless One. In a profound letter that Bhagwan wrote to a devotee in 1971, he declared, "There was no one to know who I am until I created the world at my pleasure with one word. Immediately, mountains rose up. Oceans, seas, lands and watersheds, sun, moon and the desert sands sprang out of nowhere to prove my existence. Came all forms of beings, men, beasts and birds, flying, speaking, hearing. All powers were bestowed upon them under my orders. The first place was granted to mankind, and my knowledge was placed in man's mind. Come one, come all, let us not be ungrateful called. Let us faithfully serve Sai and love him, love him, love him. With blessings, Sri Sathya Sai Baba." Who else could declare this with that stamp of authority except the avatar of the age? The knowledge of who He is will not be known to us unless He reveals it Himself. On October 20th, 1940, placing aside his school books, he sang,
నేను సాయిని తెలియము నిక్కముగను మమతబాయుము యత్నము మానుకొనుము బాసే నాకు మీతోటి బాహ్య సంబంధమింక కాదు నను బట్ట ఎటువంటి గనునకైనా కాదు నను బట్ట ఎటువంటి గనునకైనా.
This revelation was followed by Bhagwan's first message to mankind through a bhajan.
మనస భజరే గురు చరణం దుస్తర భమ సాగర తరణం.
This holy day has been observed as the Avatar Declaration Day every year. During 1963 Guru Purnima, he parted the veil again as he declared, I have been keeping back from you all these years one secret about me. I am Shiva Shakti. After launching the monthly magazine Sanatana Sarathi on Shivaratri 1958, Bhagwan in a letter to a devotee said, I am the Sanatana Sarathi. I shall sing a Bhagavad Gita designed for each one of you. 10 years after this, when the worldwide Sai family had gathered in Mumbai for the first World Conference of Sri Sathya Sai organizations in 1968, he asserted, I affirm that this Sai form is the form of all the various names that man uses for the adoration of the divine. So, I am teaching that no distinction should be made between the names of Rama, Krishna, Sai, for they are all my names. I may turn the sky into earth or earth into sky, but that is not the sign of divine might. It is my love, my forbearance, my bliss. That is the unique sign. Many of you plead for a message from me. Well, my life is my message. Even as he revealed his divinity through these epochal declarations, he reminded us repeatedly that he had come to love and be loved. His every act was inspired by Preeti and Vatsalya, love and motherly affection.
పూజింతునా నిన్ను పోషింతునా స్వామి పూజింతునా నిన్ను పోషింతునా.
As crowds started gathering in the old mandir, the devotees began celebrating various important festivals and rituals. How could they not celebrate his birthday? Hence, Bhagwan's birthday became the holiest of festivals for those who had installed him in their hearts. His birthday was celebrated for the first time in 1946. Ever since, the day has been observed with much love and gratitude by his devotees. And this day is also a reminder that he is divine come in human garb, that he wears human emotions only to make us feel dear or correct us. During the first birthday celebrations, Bhagwan's physical parents were brought in a procession and they performed the anointment ceremony for the first time. This became a regular feature of birthdays for the next few decades. The anointing ceremony during the birthday in 1968 had a heartwarming scene. Bhagwan was taken from the Prasanthi Mandir to the auditorium in a procession led by the beautifully caparisoned Sai Gita, and on his side, like always, was Mother Ishwaramma. As the ritual was in progress, Swami noticed Mrs. Anderson, a wheelchair-bound devotee from the USA, sitting in the corner. She had not walked in years, so she certainly wasn't going to be able to come to the dais. But Swami got down from the stage, walked up to her and bent low for her to anoint his hair to the delight of the devotee and all gathered there. But he didn't stop there. He gently commanded, "Stand up." And she indeed stood up. Swami then said, "Come with me." And she walked 40 feet towards Bhagwan's silver chair as Bhagwan held her hand and took her along. The anointing ceremony is also traditionally described as a healing and purificatory ritual. Here was Bhagwan thrilling the thronging devotees with a miracle like one described in the Bible or Bhagavatam, a reminder of whose birthday was being celebrated. The birthday of 1950, Swami's 25th, was indeed a very special one. Historic, we should say, for Bhagavan gifted the world Prasanthi Nilayam, a sacred space where thousands can see, speak with, be cared for, guided, goaded, and inspired by him every day. As we celebrate Bhagavan's centenary, we also celebrate the 75th year of this precious gift to mankind. Everything about this mandir is otherworldly. After laying its foundation, the engineer, Mr. Iyengar, searched along the Chitravati riverbed for a suitable stone and found a massive rock 60 feet high and 100 feet wide, which he planned to blast with dynamite for construction material. When Mr. Iyengar sought permission for this, Bhagavan asked him to wait. Interestingly, the next day there was lightning and thunder, and one powerful thunderbolt struck the rock with such piercing velocity that it instantly broke into pieces. It seemed even nature wanted to participate in the mandir construction. Many such spellbinding leelas marked the mandir's construction, which saw Swami himself donning a towel or scarf and personally overseeing the work. Finally, when Bhagwan gifted this abode of supreme peace to humanity on November 23, 1950, an auspicious Thursday, he declared, "I am naming the newly constructed mandir Prasanthi Nilayam." Prasanthi means supreme peace, and Nilayam means abode. Without any unholy thoughts, this place will give you the mind of a newly born child. Anybody who stays in Prasanthi Nilayam and practices meditation, bhajan, or any other spiritual practice will not have rebirth. It was a 10-day festive birthday celebration. On the inaugural day, Bhagwan was led in a grand procession from the old mandir to the new one, where devotees joyously hailed Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba Ki Jai and reverently worshipped his feet with turmeric and vermilion. Another interesting episode happened during the 25th birthday celebrations. One evening, Swami suddenly asked an acclaimed singer, Saraswati Bai from Chennai, to perform despite her being unprepared. Seeing her plight, Swami just walked into the crowd, picked a 25-year-old boy, a 45-year-old man, and a 20-year-old girl and told them to go to the stage. It turned out that the boy was a violinist, the man a mridangist, and the girl a playback singer. Needless to say, Saraswati Bai and her divinely hand-picked team gave a thrilling performance that evening. As her performance concluded, Swami materialized a pendant for her engraved with his face and the inscription Harikatha by Saraswati Bai, Prasanthi Nilayam. Ever since the inauguration of Prasanthi Nilayam, every major festival has been marked by the hoisting of the Prasanthi flag atop the mandir. And hence on every birthday too, Swami would climb to the top of the mandir and unfurl the flag after giving his benedictory message. He would often say, "When I hoist this flag over the Nilayam, you should convert your hearts into Prasanthi Nilayams and hoist the flag there too and keep it flying." What was the birthday celebration like in those early years? What were the programs? Here is an interesting description, and this is Bhagavan himself describing it in a letter he wrote to a devotee who couldn't make it to the celebrations.
The birthday celebrations dazzled like the full moon. Food was served for all till 8 in the evening. At 5 p.m., I laid the foundation stone for the hospital. Thereafter, sitting on the jhula, I discoursed from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. in the night. Tears of happiness flowed from the eyes of devotees. It was indeed wonderful. Mother, wherever you may be, Swami is yours and you are Swami's.
What a beautiful assurance. This Sai is the Atma Swarupa who can never be distant from his devotees. Every birthday was filled with such sweet moments and important events. If the birthday of 1954 was marked by the foundation stone laying of the Sri Sathya Sai General Hospital, the birthday of 1961 was made special in a different way. The first volume of Satyam Shivam Sundaram, the biography of Bhagwan, was placed at his feet by Professor Kasturi, the biographer. On that occasion, Swami said, "You might wonder why I permitted the publication of a book on my life. The joy in the devoted heart is the joy of the Lord. I only responded to your prayers and allowed this book to be written. Satyam Shivam Sundaram speaks of me as immanent in each one of you. Getting to know me through this book, or more clearly through the book of your own experience, is part of the destiny of mankind today. Each one of you will be saved. I will not forsake even those who deny me. I will beckon them and bless them." That's how spellbinding his birthday benedictions were year after year. The next year, on November 23, 1962, when devotees were very anxious if the birthday celebration would be possible because of the ongoing India-China war, Swami announced, "My birthday festival will not be marred by any dispiriting news. You will soon get positive and cheerful news." And sure enough, quite unexpectedly, China declared a ceasefire for undisclosed reasons on November 20th, 1962. On his 41st birthday, Bhagwan went among the vast concourse of devotees for 5 long hours, non-stop, and placed in the hands of each one a laddu. One man among the 15,000 gathered there stealthily collected more than one from his hands. After succeeding a few times, when Swami gave him the laddu again, he said, "This is the 5th I am giving you. I believe this is enough for you." How many such bewitching birthday moments can one really document? The All India conferences of the Sri Sathya Sai Seva organizations held during the birthdays brought out some very powerful messages that Swami addressed to the delegates. The day I am born in you as love, that day is my birthday for you. The conviction that I am everyone and watching everything must keep you on the straight path of sadhana through service and study. You are all limbs of one body, the Sai body. Love, respect, tolerance, mutual cooperation and forbearance must flow from the hearts of all towards all. The 50th birthday of Bhagwan in 1975 was a watershed moment for the Sri Sathya Sai movement. The grateful devotees from all over the world wanted to have a 50-day series of festive events. But Bhagwan firmly declined such pompous celebrations, saying, money should be spent in serving the poor and the needy. It was restricted to a 10-day festival like the 25th birthday. From November 14th to the 24th, the golden jubilee of the avatar of the age was joyfully marked with a plethora of events, inaugurations and celebrations. It began with a big Narayana Seva, where Swami personally served food and clothes to thousands of rural folk. It was during this period that the imposing and majestic Gopuram, with its exquisitely carved wooden doors, was flung open to all as the main entrance of Prasanthi Nilayam, and the first Rathotsavam too was conducted in Puttaparthi. On November 18th, bands of pipers from Tamil Nadu, drummers from Kerala, and the band of Sathya Sai college students roused the congregation to unprecedented heights of spiritual elevation as the gods Venugopala Swami, Chandramaurishwara and Parvati, Anjaneya, bearing on his shoulders Rama, Sita and Lakshmana, ascended the richly decorated chariot and moved triumphantly along the broadened village roads into their respective temples. Puttaparthi, the Janma Bhumi and Karma Bhumi of the Avatar, had turned into a sea of people. Everyone yearned to have one good glimpse of the Purushottama, the Supreme Personality, Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. In fact, it was during this time that the Ritviks performed a grand Purushottama Yajna, seeking the grace of the divine for the welfare of the world. The crowds were so overwhelming that if Bhagavan had moved along the masses, walking or on a vehicle, only a microscopic fraction of this ocean of humanity could have had his darshan. Therefore, in his infinite compassion, he granted his benediction from the skies on a helicopter. As a sign of his love and blessings, Bhagavan showered flowers on the congregated devotees. As Bhagavan landed, the then Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Mr. J. Vengala Rao, was waiting to garland him. Bhagavan's procession moved towards the 50 feet high, 5-phased stupa of all world religions, which had a perfect lotus with 5 petals in full bloom. It was built to commemorate the 50 years of the Supreme Emancipator on earth. When the Chief Minister inaugurated this historic stupa, sacred hymns from the Vedas, the Zendavesta, the Tripitaka, the Bible and the Quran were recited by the Bal Vikas children. But the most exhilarating moment was when Bhagavan rose to speak during the birthday evenings.
దివ్యాత్మ స్వరూపులారా, ఈనాడు స్వామి యొక్క గోల్డెన్ జూబ్లీ అనుకొని, ఈనాడు జన్మదినోత్సవం అనుకొని మీరు ఆనందంగా ఇట్టి పవిత్రమైనటువంటి యొక్క దివ్యమైనటువంటి సత్సంగంలో మీరు కూడి ఆడి ఆనందాన్ని అనుభవిస్తున్నారు. కానీ స్వామి యొక్క జన్మదినోత్సవం చేసుకోవడం స్వామికి ఏమాత్రం ఇష్టం లేదు. స్వామి జన్మదినం ఏనాడు దివ్యత్వమైనటువంటి మీ హృదయంలో వికసింపజేసి ప్రకటింపచేస్తారో అదే స్వామి యొక్క జన్మదినంగా మీరు భావించుకోవాలి. స్వామి 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 స్వామిని స్వామి నిమిత్తమే మీరు ప్రార్థనాడుతూ స్వామి ఆశయాలను మీరు ఆచరణలో పెట్టకపోయినప్పుడు స్వామి జన్మదినం చేసుకొని కూడా ప్రయోజనం లేదు. కనుక మీరు ఆచరణలో పెట్టి ఈ ఆచరణ రూపమైనటువంటి ప్రచార ప్రబోధములు ఏనాడు మీరు సలుపుతారో అదే స్వామి యొక్క జన్మదినంగా మీరు భావించుకొని ఆనందించాలని నేను ఆశిస్తున్నాను. Divyatma Swarupas, you are celebrating this occasion by calling it the Golden Jubilee. You are celebrating the occasion by calling it the birthday of Swami. Maybe you are in this divine company. You are sitting in the divine company of so many people. But Swami does not like the celebration of his birthday. Swami does not approve of the celebration of his birthday. What is his birthday? His birthday will be one when divinity is firmly established in your hearts, and when you put such divinity into practice, and then only that will give satisfaction to Swami. That will be Swami's birthday and not mere celebration of a day like this.
The 60th birthday of Bhagavan in 1985 rose even higher in grandeur and scale when 500,000 people had descended in Prasanthi Nilayam on this momentous occasion. It is said God's hands and feet, eyes, head and face are everywhere. Devotees literally experienced this during these massive celebrations as they saw Bhagavan granting darshan and interviews to endless streams of devotees from Mexico in the Western Hemisphere to Japan in the East. For weeks before the birthday, Swami was occupied going around to see the new buildings being made ready, the sheds and the tents being put up, along with appropriate sanitation arrangements, grounds being leveled, roads being laid, halls being decorated, mandir being illumined, traffic being regulated, sevadals being assigned duties in the right places, and order being maintained. On November 14th, Swami formally inaugurated the imposing Shanti Vedika in the Sri Sathya Sai Hillview Stadium with its commanding stage cum dais and the impressive Gopuram. For 8 days from November 17th to 24th, this served as the rostrum from where Bhagavan gave darshan and discourses. On November 14th, Swami also flagged off a mammoth medical mission wherein hundreds of doctors and paramedics went in buses to conduct medical camps in nearby villages as well as run 10 24-hour medical camps in Prasanthi itself to take care of the thousands of devotees who had gathered. On November 16th, a mammoth gathering of the poor and needy was fed, and dhotis and saris were distributed to them. Wasn't every birthday of Swami the same? It was he who was giving gifts during his birthday celebrations. While devotees feasted on his form to their heart's content, Bhagavan made it amply clear that the way forward for the devotees was only one: plunging into selfless service. In loving memory of Karnam Subbamma, who had served Bhagavan with unstinted love and dedication, Swami distributed a colony of 60 cottages to the needy on this occasion. On November 20th, Bhagavan presented 60 milch cows along with their firstborn calves to 60 rural families to help them earn their livelihood by serving the animals. As part of the celebrations, 6,000 villages had been adopted by the organization for all-round development. As Swami insisted that service should always be taken up as a spiritual sadhana, he initiated the Sealing on Desires program, where the devotees would consciously reduce their desires and save money, which they could use for noble causes. Every evening saw spectacular folk dances and cultural offerings presented by artists from various states of India. What was outstanding were the 3 plays, 2 in English and 1 in Telugu, written and directed by Bhagavan himself and presented by the students of the university. Swami wanted the boys of the Prasanthi Bhajan group to perform during Swami's Jhula Mahotsavam on the birthday evening. The boys went about preparing for the same, but Swami wanted new songs. He would come to them and ask every day, "Is there anything new?" One day a senior devotee gave the students an old, battered book of Hindi poems and said, perhaps they will find some inspiration in there. The music boys did find a good song which could be used. They now added a few lines to it and put it to tune. When Swami asked them the next day what's new, they proudly presented the song. And Swami's remarks swept them off their feet. He said, "By adding a few lines, you call it a new song? I gave this in 1950 to Om Sharan." The music boys were quite surprised, and when they returned to the hostel and looked up in the book, one of the withering pages did indeed have the author's name, Brahmachari Om Sharan. The page also mentioned published in 1950.
की जोत जलाई मन में, नाम की जोत जलाई मन में, जीवन सफल बनाया। विषयों में जिनका मन भाया, व्यर्था जन्म गवाया। भजो रे परम नाम श्री साई, भजो रे परम नाम श्री साई। नाम की ज्योति जलांतर में, पालो शाश्वत धाम। बोलो राम साई राम, बोलो राम साई राम।
What can we offer to the one who is the source from where all talent flows? If on the one hand there were these subtle revelations, on the other hand were the thumping ones he delivered in the discourses. Like this profound proclamation that Bhagavan made during his 60th birthday discourse, which he had made during the 50th birthday and many earlier birthdays as well.
ఏ గుణంబు గణించి ఏ తెంచెనో నాడు, ప్రహ్లాదు పాలింప పరమ పురుషుడు. ఏ గుణంబు గణించి ఏ తెంచెనో నాడు, కరిని గాచిడి తరి కమలనయముడు. ఏ గుణంబు గణించి ఏ తెంచెనో నాడు, పేదకు చేరుని బ్రోవ వేద చరితుడు. ఏ గుణంబు గణించి ఏ తెంచెనో నాడు, ధ్రువ కుమారుని సాక వైకుంఠవాసి. ఆ గుణంబె గణించి అమరవంజుడు, ఆప్తజనులను పాలించు అనాథనాథ్. శ్రీలోకనాథు శ్రీనాథు. ఆ గుణంబె గణించి అమరవంజుడు, ఆర్తజనులను పాలించు అనాథనాథుడు. శ్రీలోకనాథ శ్రీనాథ లోకనాథ. ఎవరు? సచ్చిదానందమూర్తి, సచ్చిదానందమూర్తి, పుటపర్తి సత్యక్రవర్తి.
The fourth convocation of Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, held on November 22nd, a day prior to Bhagavan's birthday, was indeed a spectacular one. Perhaps never before a convocation had more than 50,000 attending. On the same day, the university also attained the unique distinction of having a modern and sophisticated space theatre. At the inaugural preview, Bhagavan witnessed a show for an hour, wherein the picture of the heavens as on November 23rd, 1926, the time when Bhagavan was born, as well as the picture on November 23rd, 1985, as his 60th birthday had dawned, was beautifully recreated. During the 60th birthday, Swami had picked a few schoolboys to do the Bhangra dance during the grand procession. The boys assembled early that morning in the ashram and were getting ready in the car shed beside the mandir. And very casually Swami walked in that morning to check on them. The boys surrounded Swami and started exclaiming in joy, "Happy birthday, Swami!" Lakhs were sitting in the stadium waiting for him. people of eminence and authority a silver chariot to be drawn by white horses in readiness. But he came to the little boys and asked, "Have you all had breakfast? How will you be able to dance on an empty stomach?" Swiftly, Swami directed someone to get breakfast for all the boys and have it served in the bhajan hall. Not satisfied, he brought tea and milk and then apples. Once he was satisfied that they were fed, he said, "I will go get ready and come." He has come impelled by his motherly love for us after all. The whole world is waiting to celebrate him, but he is only thinking of his devotees. The evening of the birthday program was always the Jhula Mahotsavam right from the 1950s. It would be a feast for the devoted as Swami would gently move back and forth on that swing adorned with flowers. Over the years, the Jhula Mahotsavam has been a musical extravaganza. Some of the most renowned musicians have performed for him. Every birthday was monumental, and from the 60th birthday onwards, the Sri Sathya Sai Hillview Stadium became the arena for all major birthday celebrations. When the 65th birthday arrived, the stadium had got its bejeweled, bedazzling crown, the 65-feet Hanuman statue, and along with it, towering statues of Lord Krishna, Lord Shiva, Zoroaster, Jesus, and the magnificent educational and spiritual edifices all around. On that morning, Bhagwan indeed took everyone by surprise when he announced his mega plan to set up a super specialty hospital offering advanced tertiary care absolutely free of charge in a year.
కానీ ఉచితంగా బీదలను చూచి కరుణించేటువంటి వ్యక్తి కనిపించటం లేదు. కనుక పల్లెలు ఎందే ఇలాంటి పవిత్రమైన యొక్క శక్తిని అభివృద్ధి పరచాలని చెప్పి సంకల్పించుకొని 100 కోట్ల వ్యయం చేత మన ప్రశాంతి నందు ఒక విధమైన వైద్యాలయం స్థాపించడానికి ప్రయత్నించారు. బైపాస్ సర్జరీ కానీ బ్రెయిన్ ఆపరేషన్ చేయటం కానీ అన్ని ఉచితంగానే. ప్రారంభోత్సవం కూడాను అప్పుడే నిర్ణయించుకున్నాం. 91 నవంబర్ 22 దీని ప్రారంభోత్సవం చేస్తాం.
And true to his declaration, the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Medical Sciences was inaugurated in 1991 by the then Prime Minister of India, Mr. P.V. Narasimha Rao. In fact, on the inaugural day, 4 successful surgeries were performed to begin this unprecedented medical mission of selfless care.
जो साईं बाबा नाम है।
Every birthday saw historic initiatives being launched to come to the rescue of the forlorn. The 70th birthday in 1995 saw Mr. P.V. Narasimha Rao come again to Prasanthi Nilayam, now to inaugurate the mammoth drinking water project, providing safe drinking water to 731 villages in the district of Anantapur. To celebrate this landmark year, the Bharat Cultural Committee organized the Spirit of Unity concerts, wherein distinguished artists from all over India joyfully offered their music at Bhagwan's lotus feet. In fact, on Baba's 69th birthday too, this 3-day program of music and dance was truly a cultural and spiritual musical bonanza for the devotees. The 70th birthday was also the year when Bhagwan announced that henceforth November 19th would be celebrated as Ladies' Day. Thus from then on, birthday festivities annually begin with the global Akhanda Bhajan in the second week of November, wherein the entire Sai world across time zones sang collectively his glory. And then on November 18th, the birthday week commenced with the festive Rathotsavam, the chariot procession. This was followed by Ladies' Day on November 19th. Conferences and symposiums, be it for Bal Vikas or youth or Sevadals and so on, commenced on November 20th. November 22nd was earmarked for the annual convocation of Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, which always had luminaries among men as chief guests. It is indeed symbolic that the birthday eve is dedicated to the youth. A lion's share of Bhagwan's time was always to train, tutor and transform young minds into enlightened citizens. And then dawned the big day of the year on November 23rd, the day because of which all other days in our lives have meaning. And every soul expressed this deep feeling in various ways, individually and collectively, through their cards, songs, cakes, music, seva, resolutions to transform, and so on. The devotees wanted to install an edifice where the life, mission and message of Bhagwan is displayed. And this alluring magnificence, Chaitanya Jyoti, was unveiled by Bhagwan in November 2000 as his 75th birthday was being celebrated. Shortly after this, Swami dedicated in the service of mankind his second super speciality hospital in Bengaluru, which had a breathtaking dome with an elevation of 75 feet. It was on the morning of his 76th birthday that Bhagwan pressed a button and the Sri Sathya Sai Media Center was born out of the blue. The 80th birthday of Bhagwan saw the 8th World Conference of Sri Sathya Sai organizations as the Hillview Stadium glittered that night with light, sound, music and fireworks like never before. A sweet surprise awaited everyone on Bhagwan's 82nd birthday, wherein, after a hiatus of several years, Bhagwan gave the devotees the chance to witness once again the gloriously sublime anointing ceremony, which was a most looked forward to spectacle on his every birthday for many decades. Encase the ocean of pure love in a vial of supreme splendor, and voila, you set 1,000,000 hearts aflutter. The 83rd birthday marked the physical presence of the avatar on this planet through 1,000 full moons, and to describe that day in words, poetry or prose would be like holding a lantern in front of the moon. As the sun shone on the horizon, another arose in the divine hamlet of Puttaparthi. And on the dais that morning were also present revered spiritual heads and leaders of several organizations who had assembled to pay their homage to Bhagavan on that momentous occasion. The last grand birthday in Bhagavan's physical presence was the 85th birthday, and very significantly that evening, the filled to the brim stadium watched the entire saga of Sri Sathya Sai presented through entrancing music and captivating visuals through the program called Prema Pravaham. And even on this day, it was Swami who was giving us another gift. This time, it was the Sri Sathya Sai Vidya Vahini. Every birthday is a grand spectacle. Thousands from across the globe gather to spend time. The devotees come because how can they miss the birthday of their mother Sai? And Swami, his concern was always that of the mother. He would visibly be excited that his children were coming for him. Sometimes he would ask a devotee, "Are you coming for the birthday?" And that was all that was required for a devotee. And what can we give the one who is everything? But yet, the desire to celebrate him, to give him something on his birthday, is one that cannot be put away. It was Bhagwan's 40th birthday. A few children, belonging to a few devoted families from Bengaluru, were very eager to give him some gift. They knew Swami wouldn't accept anything, but they so much wanted to, and maybe if they pleaded enough, he might accept it. It was before the Purna Chandra Hall was built, so Swami's birthdays would be celebrated in a makeshift shed with a metal sheet roofing. Swami would sit on the throne for hours in that heat, wearing all the garlands that would be offered. So they decided to pool their pocket money and buy a pedestal fan for Swami's birthday, which could be placed on the dais. So they went about procuring this thoughtful gift, loaded it onto a train wrapped in a jute sack, and transported it from the station to the mandir. They sent the youngest of the lot, an 8-year-old girl, to inform Swami and plead to accept the gift. Swami was excited like the children themselves. "You got something for me?" he asked. "Where is it?" The children's procession then led him to the shed where it was kept, now wrapped in a white cloth. They unveiled it and pleaded again, begging him to accept it. With a broad smile of a proud mother, Swami said, "Chala santosham, very happy. Yes, I will use it." Their joy couldn't be contained. The birthday came and they set the fan on the dais for Swami. But when the bhajans began, Swami got up from the chair and gently turned it towards the devotees for the cool breeze to flow towards them. And that is how the fan remained for the whole time. The children were disappointed. When Swami was retiring that night, they lined the path with their sullen faces. Swami looked at them and said, "It is my birthday, and you all have such castor oil faces." The children remonstrated, "Swami, you promised to use the gift, but you didn't." Swami sweetly said, "I never go back on my word. I did use the fan." Then he added, "It is my birthday. Shouldn't you give me what I want?" The children excitedly said, "Yes, Swami, tell us what you want. We will definitely bring it the next time." With a sweet smile, Swami said,
సాయి అర్థించు నీ నుండి సద్గుణములు సర్వమానవ సోదర సఖ్య బుద్ధి స్వార్థ త్యాగంబు పరిశుద్ధ సంఘ సేవ స్వార్థ త్యాగంబు పరిశుద్ధి సంఘ సేవ సాయికి చెడి ధనమిదే సత్యముగను మీరు సాయికి చెడి ధనమిదే సత్యముగను మీరు సాయికి చెడి ధనమిదే సత్యముగను.
Truly, this is the wealth that must be offered to Sai. May we prepare this gift that he seeks. He came into our midst, and by that one act of grace, he has made all our possessions pale in significance. Nothing we own is more precious than this Sai that we have found. We can only offer ourselves to him through service to mankind and the constant striving for purity.
నేను వస్తూ ఉంటే ప్రతి ఒక్కరు కూడాను హ్యాపీ బర్త్డే అన్నారు.
As Bhagavan started there this morning, everyone said happy
నేను
birthday.
ఎప్పుడు హ్యాపీగానే ఉన్నాను.
Bhagavan is always happy.
కానీ ఈనాడు మాత్రం మీరు ఎందుకు హ్యాపీ బర్త్డే అంటున్నారు?
Why specially to be happy today?
హ్యాపీ లేనటువంటి వారికి హ్యాపీ బర్త్డే అని చెప్పండి.
You can greet anyone saying happy birthday if he is
నాకు
not
ఎప్పుడు
happy.
హ్యాపీగానే ఉండేటువంటి వాడు.
Bhagavan is always happy.
కనుకనే హ్యాపీ అనేటువంటిది బయట నుంచి వచ్చి ప్రవేశించేటువంటిది కాదు.
Happiness is not in the exterior.
హ్యాపీనెస్ ఈజ్ యూనియన్ విత్ గాడ్.
100 बरस का ये गीत गाए, साई जन्म से जीवन महकाए, 100 बरस की समा मुस्काए, साई राह पे चल के दिखाए, तुमसे ही दिल का सहारा, तुमसे ही है दिन गुजारा, तुमसे ही है ये ज़मीं और आसमां, तुमसे ही जीवन की धारा, तुमसे ही सुख का किनारा, तुमसे ही होता है रोशन ये जहां, तेरे नूर से धूप मिली, तेरे प्यार में छाँव मिले, ओ साई तुम्ही से सुकून मिले, 100 बरस का ये गीत गाए, साई जन्म से जीवन महकाए, 100 बरस की समा मुस्काए, साई राह पे चल के दिखाए.
This river of love, which has no beginning or end, continues to flow and will be the succor and solace, life and meaning, journey and destination for millions and billions as long as space and time exist in this cosmos.